Hey guys, Blue here, back with another video. Today we're looking at Central Park. We'll start off with stage 1, defense. This first spot may be gimmicky, but it can work and it will tilt the opponents 10 seconds into the game.
Fighters? Time for some fireworks.
This is where you want to place your nest if your team are holding a bit closer up past the choke point. It's well protected from both sides and you can get some nice coverage with well placed webs. Something like this can work extremely well.
Time for some fireworks.
This is a more defendable position and a really good nest spot. It's got great protection from the front and you can get great coverage underneath the bridge, covering the entirety of the choke. This is the last spot for defense on stage 1. Shoot this building. You have a health pack in this spot, but most importantly, it gives the enemy team another angle to think about. Stage 2, defense. This is about the closest that I'd hold on this stage. You can get webs placed to get good coverage onto main. We can hold slightly further back by placing the nest here. This will obviously give our support some cover if they're getting dove. Similar web setup as last time, just to get coverage onto main. This is another spot to think about. If the enemy team is running dive heavy and they're pushing this side of the map, you can defend. The last spot will be placed here. This is a really nice spot. Once this wall gets broken, we can get some really nice web coverage onto main. Stage 3, defense. If you see the opportunity to hold close, take it. This is a very strong spot and it's hard for the attackers to push into. You can also hold on the other side depending on which spawn door they're primarily using. Typically it's the first one I showed you. If you have a main tank holding the door below, you can hold this spot and potentially get some picks on the support that will be sitting at the back. And it will also prevent any divers from pushing through this doorway.
This is gonna hurt.
A nest placed up here is hard to destroy and you get great coverage onto main, obviously before this building is reconstructed. When this building does reconstruct, we have the best defensive spot on this map and it's right here. Make sure to place the nest on the left so it can't be shot from the other side. You can get webs set up like this to get great coverage onto main. I've tried a couple of web setups and honestly they're all good. This spot becomes even better when you shoot this wall and this piece of the wall falls, covering the nest. This spot is so good. If the nest does get destroyed, you can replace it from the top of the wall that fell. If you're unable to replace the nest in the spot I just showed you, you can use this spot instead. If they push past the stairs, we can place a nest here. Just be careful, this can break, so place it far to the side. I prefer it on this side though,
I'm counting on you, friend.
because we still get coverage onto main, but we can also block off this room here, which flankers love to use. Next up is attack, and we have potentially the best flank for Peni in the game. This is the best flank for Peni in the game. We want to stand on the edge of this cliff right here. We're not going for the typical flank. Instead, we're going further back, right about here. Aim on the right side. Detach the web tether so we can use it again. We need to drop, move to the right and web bond. We're now in the enemy's back line, unseen, and we can get an awesome
You're up,
nest
little one.
set up. Get web set up something like this to completely lock off this corridor. I'm sure one of you guys is going to find the best way to set webs up in this corridor. When you do, come and drop it in our Discord. The link's in my bio. This spot prevents enemies from coming back from spawn and using this corridor to get back to point, and it also prevents them from coming to point and pushing us because every doorway is locked off with webs. It's also impossible to destroy the nest without any sort of AoE from the outside. This spot is super strong and it's going to cause absolute chaos for the enemy team trying to deal with it. This is what a standard push through main will look like. If you want to fight the choke, placing a nest here is good. Or we can push through this room, which doesn't take long to reconstruct at all. We can get a nest placed in this room and get great coverage onto point by extending with a few nice webs.
Time for some fireworks.
Either side of the door works good. We can also try a few of these high ground spots if nothing up to this point has worked in terms of capturing the point.
I'm counting on you, friends.
Stage 2, attack. These are some standard spots if we're going to push main with the team. If needed, extend the range of the nest with webs. If you're enjoying the guides so far, guys, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel a ton. Thank you.
You know what to do, spiders?
We can get more creative with this nest spot. You can extend the nest with webs onto the high ground to get some really nice coverage.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Similar to the defensive spots at this part of the map, we can hold the opposite side, blocking the defending team inside. Get a web placed down and mines on this door, and also one on the top for good measure.
Mine's in place.
This is more of a flanking sort of push for Penny on this stage of the map.
You're up, little one.
Make sure that you're shooting mines in threes into the back line of the enemy team. Remember, a stack of 3 mines will take out any support in the game. You can try to get around the back of the enemy team, deny them the space to retreat, pinching them in between us and our team. It should go without saying, guys, these spots will not work if you're the only tank. Your DPS and support will just get rolled by the enemy team. And this is the right side flank. Not much to it, to be honest, guys, but you may be able to get a support or DPS that are running back to the team from spawn.
Time for some fireworks.
We have the opportunity of a spawn trap on this stage. If we place a nest here, we can lock the enemy team in this room. There's only 2 doors out of the spawn room. With webs placed on either door, we connect them to the nest, locking them inside the room. Let's look at stage 3, attack. If the enemy team decide to hold at the bottom of the staircase and place a nest here, we can fight them from this room. This is an alternative nest spot. This is just for if the enemy team are fighting at the bottom of the staircase. We can also get a flank off and get a nice nest placed up here and get some shots off into their backline. As always, get webs placed down to connect the nest onto main. We can try from the opposite side too, also locking off this room on our left. Just remember guys, when you play Penny on attack, don't keep doing the same thing if it's not working. Change it up, try different spots, different angles to attack from. If you see the chance to get this nest placed down, take it. It's super strong and you can get coverage onto main from low ground.
Picking up some major activity across the park. Follow me.
We're now going to move left here, round the side. This is a nice spot to maybe get a quick pick on one of the supports. Be aware, this wall can be broken, so don't expect to hold here for long. You can place it on either side, left or right. Honestly, don't play this spot for long. Your team will tilt if you hold up here. You can use it to get some sneaky mines placed down, getting a pick on one of the supports coming back from spawn. This spot is for the final push, just getting the cart, or rather squirrel, to the finish line. Place webs on both staircases to make it harder for them to contest the squirrel. And for the last spot on attack, we have another spawn hold. The spider drones will go on any part of this web. This map and Penny in general have been super buggy since the latest update, so by the time you watch this spot may not work. This works on both sides, by the way.
Mine's in place. This is your big chance.
If that spot doesn't work, you can also place the nest in the corner,
You know what to do, Spider.
achieving near enough the same effect. Okay, now let's look at the lineups. Big thanks to Soulfire209 for finding these lineups. Check him out on YouTube and Twitch. This first spot is directly outside the spawn. We want to tuck in this corner and push right against it. The key is we line up the corner on our hood with the corner of this wood.
Time for some fireworks.
This is where the mines fall. Second spot, same deal. We go in the corner and tuck right inside it as much as we can. The key to this one is the corner of our hood needs to be parallel with this plank.
Time for some fireworks.
You'll be able to get a DPS holding high ground with those mines. This next spot, as with the others, we want to stand in this corner, tuck ourselves as much in as we can. We need to line up the corner of our health bar with this piece of stone. Then aim up so the top left corner of the health bar is in line with that curve. Really nice spot. Supports will usually be playing around here. Now for this spot, we're at the end of stage 2. As with the other spots, we want to stand in this crevice, stand right in the corner, tuck yourself in. We want to line up the top right of our health bar with this gap.
This is gonna hurt.
These should get someone coming back from spawn who's not paying attention. Thanks for watching, and thanks to the people who jumped into this game and helped with these spots. I streamed all of this on Twitch, guys. Make sure you follow me over there to watch this live if you don't want to have to wait for this video. Catch you in the next one.